weren't worried about what people would think of us. We already kind of acknowledge that there are going to be people that don't accept it. But I think we also realise that we come from families where you need to break cycles. And if you don't start now, then, if we have children in the future or whatever happens, that's going to be carried on. And so you have to kind of be uncomfortable and be in that space for a little bit in order to make change.
Hello and welcome to Separate Bathrooms. We would like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of this land, and pay our respects to elders both past and present. Hi, Elle.
Hey, Cam Dad.
How are you?
I'm good.
Ready for this?
I am. We've been doing our research on these two, and I'm really excited to talk to them.
Yeah, Janelle, Halil and Monzir Hamdin won My Kitchen Rules last year. If you're a MKR watcher, you'll know all about them. To add some zestfulness, some spice, some extra flavouring, some fizz.
I see what you're doing there. I see it.
Some zing to this story. Janelle and Monzir's families had no idea that they were dating when they went on the show.
No. So their families not only found out what was going on, they also witnessed on screen how serious the two were about each other and particularly about the food that they loved as well.
Yeah. So we're 12 months on from them winning MKR. They took home $100,000 and the couple's lives have changed massively.
Yeah, they've travelled around the country appearing at food festivals and shows, and they've launched their own business, Monzir, and we'll hear a little bit more about that later, with their prize money, and are currently working on their first cookbook and a line of aprons.
As you do.
Yep.
We're taking them out of the kitchen and bringing them into the bathroom. Welcome, Janelle and Monzir. Welcome, Janelle and Monzir, to the bathroom. How are you guys?
Good, thanks.
We're good,
Yourself?
thank you. Thanks for having us.
What a pleasure to
Absolutely.
have you.
Australia fell in love with you two last year, right? We want to know, how did you fall in love with each other? Share with us how did you meet? We want to know your love story.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
I'll let you know when that happens.
Okay. And we'll start again. Monzir's going, what the hell?
Oh, man.
No, I'm joking. Aw.
So, yeah, I think I met Janelle at Night Out. I just seen her, I was like, oh, damn, who's that? I was like, nah, no, she's very interesting. She's very, she was attractive as well. So I was like, I'm going to go, go talk to her. For the trust, I was like, hey, what's your name? And then
It was an interesting story though. When we met, we we met out when we were out, and I was, I think, a little bit rude. I was just kind of like, you don't have any money, and then he was like, well, yes, I do. And it was just a little thing like, you're going to get me a drink, aren't you? And then...
so it's money for drink, not money for a car.
No, I
house.
didn't. No. I wasn't asking for, anything like that. But I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then we met from there, but we were friends for a really, really long time and we built a good friendship. And then we were like, well, it's just us two. I like you. And then we just started dating.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And how long were you dating before you went on My Kitchen Rules?
About a year and a bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Something you just said before that I found really interesting.
Yeah.
You went, so I saw her and she was there and I'm like, oh, yeah. And then she looked really good too.
Yeah.
So did you see her aura or something? Was there something else you were looking at as opposed to?
Yeah, I think it was the energy mostly because I like the energy, the vibe around. And she was just there with her sister and her friend, and then they were sitting and talking and laughing. I was like, oh yeah, she's pretty. That's my type. So
Yeah,
go for it.
Nice.
I was with my sister that night, and then I think, after he's like, what are you doing after? And I said, I've got to take my sister home. And he's like, oh, I really like that. Okay, that's nice, responsible. And I was like, I was far from responsible that day, but still, I was like, okay, I'm going to go. But I never expected to ever date him officially and have anything eventuate from that. We were very strict in the beginning. I was like, look, let's just see how it goes.
Yep.
No expectations. We didn't tell anyone. It was our little bubble for quite a long time.
Yeah, right.
And yeah.
And what was the attraction for Monzir? Like, what was it that you
Yeah,
actually
tell me.
went, here we go. I
wanna hear it.
I want more.
His smile. I think physically it was his smile. Like, that was the first thing I saw when I saw him. And I thought, oh, he's so warm and genuine. He was with his friends and his brothers as well that night. Yeah. And they all had such a nice energy, laughing and having fun. And he showed me how life could be fun. I was a very serious workaholic kind of person when I met him. I would just work and just not really do anything else. And I was living in a really carefree space in that time where I was just trying to be myself and have fun. But I hadn't met anyone like him who really exposed me, I guess, to adulthood. And that sounds strange being an adult, but at the time, because I'm half Turkish as well.
Yep.
And we don't usually leave the house and just, do whatever you want kind of thing. You are kind of on house arrest. So he showed me that, like, you could stay out and leave the house at 12 o'clock at night and it's okay. I remember the first time I ever stayed over his place, he's like, oh, I'll pick you up at 11. I finish work at 11. I was like, oh, I can't tell my mum that. And he's like, how old are you? And I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, I'll go out. So, yeah, he showed me what life is like.
Were you living at home at that point with your mum?
Yes.
Well, I mean, there's parental rules.
Yeah, there's rules.
Yeah.
And grandparents. I live with them too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Full-on extended family.
Yeah, it's a full-on thing. And so I can't just get out of the house and be like, laters.
Right.
No,
Sure.
No. I have to, if I'm creeping out at that time, I'm creeping out.
And so is that what you did?
Yes.
We have a young daughter who does that sort of thing sometimes.
She's been pretty good lately.
Yeah, well, no, I locked her in the Rapunzel room up the top.
No.
And we cut her hair off.
And for you, Monzir, were you living at home with your family at that time?
So I was living with my brother at the moment, at the time. And then my parents, they were older down in Orange, so I was staying with my brother and I work in the city.
Yep.
And then I'll finish work from the city and then I'll go pick up Janelle and then go that way.
Yep.
But before that, I think before we even started picking up and night stuff, we went like on a couple of dates at the beginning. So like was during the day and stuff. That's where like we went to, I think it was the Ferris wheel at the time.
That was his first time going on a ride.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
right.
went
On a Ferris wheel. Nice and gentle.
It was small, it was nice. It was not too high.
Good place
So
to start.
it was good baby steps. So I was like, that was the first one. Then when had ice cream, we walked and we did all that stuff. We went to movie trips, like dates during the day, and after that we start going out at night, like we go watch a movie and stuff like that. Invite her over, start cooking and enjoying each other's time, company.
Yeah.
And it's been well documented that your parents actually found out you were dating once you were on
Yeah.
Kitchen Rules, which is wild. What an incredible story.
I think for me, it was she was my first girlfriend as well. Fun fact back here. Because I never dated and I wasn't planning.
You never had an
stuff.
official girlfriend.
I'm not official, so
but
like
I mean,
yeah, so like I was like, all right then, and then we started like keeping. I like our private life, keep it private, and it's more better secret. And
I don't
stuff.
think there was ever a time that we said, so when are we going to introduce ourselves and actually tell anyone about this? Before MKR, we never had that conversation of like, so when are we going to do that? And then when the show came about, it was a very like split decision. Are you coming on it or not? And then he was like, yep, let's do this. And then I was like, you know what this means? This means that everyone is going to find out. And he's like, yep, okay. But he goes, but don't worry about it because we're not going to be here. They'll find out when we're not here.
We're in Melbourne.
We were in a different state.
I think we're on another planet.
No, we were filming and stuff and they aired the commercial and then the phone started ringing and it was, who's that? What are you doing? I thought you were on MasterChef by yourself. And I was like, no, you need a partner for this one. And my grandma was like, no, definitely not. No, you're not doing that. Come home.
Wow.
And but you already shot it?
Yeah,
at this point?
it was already filmed.
In the can.
We actually,
Wow.
to be honest, the first commercial filmed when we were filming, I think, the cook-offs or the semi-finals.
No, that was I think it was the backstory. The first one came out.
No.
Was that backstory? Is it?
No. Dull.
Yeah.
No. No. It happened. The first commercial came out and it had us there holding hands, walking, saying secret relationship when we were filming in studio at like the semi-finals or something.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember that night I was like, Mum, there's a commercial that's going to come out. She knew about it. She was okay. The rest of my extended family did not know.
So what did Granny do? What did I mean, you said that she said no.
Yeah, she wasn't happy at first.
Okay.
She was really like, I think she was shocked because she was like under the impression that apparently I didn't date boys, being a 27-year-old woman. I don't know. She just thought, there's no way. I thought she would bring him home and introduce me and get my approval. It was that whole thing.
Yeah, there needed to be some sort of introductions made before you went public, I guess.
Yeah.
In her mind.
In her mind, it's just always been that way in my family, where it's just, you know, we have to kind of bring them home, you introduce, the families accept, and then they say, okay, now that you guys are married, you can date.
Right.
God, it's kind of Romeo and Juliet, isn't it?
Dramatic,
That's more the Turkish tradition. Is that correct?
I think for both of us, it's kind of
so
like that.
Sudanese and Turkish, they're pretty like similar in thing.
Oh,
Like,
interesting.
So Sudan and Turkey, they were allies before, so like they used to, like they come to the country and they got the same culture, basically. Same
Yeah.
food, same culture, same religion as well. So
Yeah.
in Islam, it's the same thing. You have to knock on the door and then introduce yourself and then ask for marriage. And there's no such a thing as dating. So for
I
us,
mean,
that's
look,
the thing,
we obviously don't follow that. We just date and do whatever. But, you know, in their minds, they still believe that that's the way you do it and that's what they expected from me.
Yeah.
I don't know why they expected that when I'm pretty rebellious to begin with.
Yeah, but you're part of the family, you know.
Yeah.
It's a culture.
That's
isn't
what it is, though.
And there is the reason these cultures have lasted as long as they have is because of these traditions that are respectful to our elders.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important.
Yeah.
That we do respect our elders, because what else you have to hang your hat on other than, you know, in terms of
Well,
the
that's
past?
the thing. It was hard. It was really hard for us, and I was nervous. So as soon as they aired the commercial and kind of thing, and we were able to either go home, I was like, come for a barbecue. And we did that whole thing to kind of make it more comfortable.
That's
Well,
good.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think I met your mum before jumping on the show.
He knew my mum before.
Yeah, I met her mum, so I got her mum's approval, basically.
My mum had the approval. She
mum
was
was
like,
like,
he's
Yeah.
nice. I like him. It's
Yeah,
fine.
so-
Yeah.
It was my grandparents that were difficult.
Yeah, how was Granddad? What did he have to...
Oh, he gave him a bottle of red wine at the barbecue. He was fine.
That was
well
it.
done.
Yeah.
Alcohol was past.
He was fine. He just kind of looked at him like, who is that? Like, what is he? He's a bit older. My grandfather's a bit older now.
he's a bit older, so
and
it's
so his memory's not always there.
Are you blaming it on that? Other than
No.
he might just be more accepting, going, you know what, hey, life's going on.
Maybe.
I'm sure she knows who her grandfather is, though.
Maybe.
Yeah, for me, I
You're
think
defending the grandpas. I
Oh,
know,
I'm
but I'm
defending
sure
the
she knows.
dudes,
I
yeah.
know.
I'm defending the dude. Okay, so Pops gave you a bottle of red wine, and
I gave him
It was
red
all
wine.
good.
Then I came for the barbecue, so I bought like stuff, like you know,
What
like
was
when
the
you
gift?
gotta go to a
The
house.
gift that you gave my grandma.
I gave her like I don't know. She goes, "Skinny." Mom, my grandma likes watermelon, so I grabbed a big watermelon.
But he brought a whole watermelon to my house and carried it in and was like, here you go.
I got a watermelon. I got
she
her
was
mom
like,
flowers
wow.
and had that and I grabbed.
Done.
Yeah, sold. Husband.
And how about your family? Were they when they found out about Janelle?
My family, they like because I had brothers and sisters,
Yep.
siblings. Like I got 3 sisters and 7 brothers. So my older ones,
Wow. He just put that in there like,
yeah. So I got a big family. So
Yeah.
my brothers, they broke that tradition where they had already dated someone and
okay.
they had baby mamas and stuff. So like my mom, she knew like I would never like. I never dated. I'll never bring a girl home except like if I'm gonna marry her
unless
or
it's for
she's
marriage.
like for marriage and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're like, oh, when they found out I met Janelle, I got a girlfriend. They're like, all right, we easy going because your brothers had girlfriends and stuff. But are you serious with her? Are you gonna take her serious? Is she a nice girl? Is she that? And they seen her on TV. And then when my mom met her, when they first met was like on the grand finals. She cooked my mom's recipe. So and then
You cooked his mum's recipe on the grand
Did.
final.
on the grand
Yeah, I
final,
did.
yeah.
Oh, winner.
So-
Was that the one you
Was it
got
a chicken
10 out
dinner?
of? Was that
It
10
was-
out of
Yeah.
10 for? Or
that was
something?
the dish of the season, I think. What
That was
The last
for the
one.
grand final.
Yeah.
It was a
okra stew. It was like a
beef
stew-
and
yeah.
okra stew with Sudanese traditional bread. And the traditional bread is really difficult because it needs to be fermented for 24 hours. It needs to be proper like technique and all this stuff. And I've never cooked this before, maybe practiced once before. And then that was the day that I met her. And then I had to cook for her own recipe.
So then the mom gave her the thumbs up from the thing.
Yeah.
So she's like, all right, you got my approval. She's good. So I was like, all right.
Well, that would have given you some confidence, wouldn't it?
Oh,
She was
I
sweating.
was freaking out because
Yeah.
I'm trying to also be like, it was really hard, the timing of everything. I didn't get to go and meet his family and do that all beforehand. I had to meet them while they came in. We're standing there filming for the grand final.
That's life is happening
It's
whilst you're
literally-
living your life. I mean,
Yeah.
that's full on. That's great pressure. Great drama.
Yeah, good
on
job.
TV.
It was was so intense, and I felt horrible because
sketchy.
I was like, I really want to go up and give her a hug and say hello to everybody,
Yeah.
but I couldn't.
Yeah.
So I'm just like trying to say, I'm like, oh, hello, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for being supportive. She doesn't speak a lot of English, so that was also difficult as well.
okay.
And I would have liked to have the whole translation thing, and you don't get to do that when you're filming.
Yeah.
So.
We didn't see this season, but did they harp on that a lot in the advertising? That it was like, this couple have not met each other.
I think that was the catchy phrase for
Yeah,
everyone.
okay.
Everyone at home watching was like, oh, they never told their parents. And then you see the African community or all the ethnics that watch it were like, oh, I want to see what's gonna happen. And then I got I got cousins and I got like friends. They're like, oh, you know what? I only watched MKR because I've seen you. And then they said that he never told he got a girlfriend, but he never told his parents. I want to see what's happening. And then I was watching it with my parents. So I tell him, look, like, see, he did it, so I can do it too.
Oh, yeah. You were leading by
So,
example.
I'm leading by example.
All the
so,
parents are going, we hate him. Bloody Monzi.
But that was like a big catchy phrase for thing that would get the audience attention. Like,
Yeah.
they never
Yeah,
met
of course.
they never told their parents they're in love and stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
oh wow.
Yeah, it's Romeo and Juliet,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Oh,
How did you end up on My Kitchen Rules? How did that all happen?
Oh, I got dragged in this.
Yeah. but and a good drag though, Monzir. Look at
No.
now.
You won.
Oh, no, it was good. I think Janelle, that's her dream. She always wanted to go on MK. She watches the show religiously, and then she applied for it, her and her friend, and then her friend she couldn't make it through she couldn't make it through the test. I think there's mental health
So
test. something like that.
originally, I actually applied with somebody else.
Okay.
And we were still talking at the time, but I just never thought that he would ever want to do that. I just thought, yeah, okay, Monzier's,
So,
not really interested. But I applied with her. She no longer could do it. And then I was really upset because I was like, I was so close. They said yes, they wanted us and all this stuff.
wow.
And they pretty much just said, look, if you can find someone else, maybe we can consider it. And I was like telling him on the phone the situation. And I'm like, this is what's happening. I'm so upset. This is my dream. And he's like, I'll do it.
Yeah, I got a phone call midday, and I was driving to class, and then she's like, "Oh, babe, I can't go." And I was like, "Oh, no, don't worry. I'll come with you. I'll take the thing." I was like, "Yeah, no worries."
He just said it.
Did you have any idea what that meant though, Monzir? Like,
Not much. I used to watch episodes here and there, but I didn't know it was gonna be full on like that. Yeah. So I was like, "Oh,
live,
take it back, yeah.
on TV, like superstar.
How much cooking experience did you have?
I had because I lived by myself, and then I learned from my mom and dad because we had a big family, so my mom would cook every day. So I had cooking experience. Me and Janelle cooked I cooked for her a couple of times. She came to my house. We cooked together. We tried different.
He would make me
stuff.
food, and sometimes we'd cook together, but I
It
overlooked
wasn't
it.
TV
Right.
thing,
Yeah, right.
you know.
Okay.
So
I thought, we just do this, whatever. But, our food is just food. That's our ethnic food. That's not anything that you could go on the show with.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, okay. I go, look, let's just give it a go. I'm not expecting anything. I don't think we're going to win. We won't get any far, but let's just go on it for the sake of doing it. And he goes, okay. Went through the audition process, still had to go through the whole thing again.
Again.
We had to do
right.
the whole audition process. They had to meet him, all that stuff. And after they were pretty much really quick about it, and they were like, no, we love him.
Yes.
Let's bring him in. So we went on, and I said, okay, so by the way, we have to leave to go to Melbourne next week. So pack your stuff, and it's going to be a 2.5 month process.
Oh,
So,
wow. That's
yeah.
a long time.
I had to leave everything behind. So I had to
work
drop
and-
my course, and then go travel, and then not tell. I told my parents I'm going on a holiday, or whatever, and stuff like that. But
We couldn't tell anyone.
How was that conversation, Monzir?
I was like, hey, where are you going? I was like, I'm going to Melbourne for a trip, boys trip. And then later I told them on the phone. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going on a cooking show and stuff. I was like, oh no way. Yeah.
They were shocked.
They were shocked
Yeah.
with me when they seen us after they seen us on the first ad. So they've seen the first ad. I think it was the backstory or something on TV.
Yep.
And then they called me. They're like, oh, we'll throw you in the trip. I was like, oh yeah.
No, I'm on a cooking show. But I think he was telling me, his sister and his siblings were like, you can't cook. What are you doing there? What are you doing? And
Oh, a
he's
lot of
like,
people-
no, I could do this. It's just food. That was his attitude from the beginning. No, it's just cooking. Come on. And everyone else that was on the show was like, oh, we're going to meet the judges. Oh, my God. And he's just like,
I mean, the boys from work.
who are
'cause
we meeting?
I work as a bouncer, security guard as well. I used
Yep.
to work there and the stuff. So I took a gap. I told them I'm taking NA. I don't want to think I'm gonna be somewhere and come back. So when they see me on TV, they're like, "What the hell? We didn't know you can cook. We can't cook. You lied and shit. You talking shit." And I was like, yeah. I was like, "No, I can cook." And then no one believed me. And then I was like, after because we finished filming, and then we came back before the show started airing. And then I came back to work and I'm just like walking around and the boy's like, yeah, we've seen the ads. I saw you cooking and stuff, but you can't cook. What are you talking about? How did you get into that? What did you say? You know, do you like the thing? I was like, no. So I was like, yeah, everyone was doubting that at the beginning until the end, actually, until the grand finals.
Until then, it was still like, does Monzir actually know how to cook? Does he know what he's doing? And it's like, there's two of us here. Like, yes, I am the stronger cook. No, I am.
I was giving that side eye,
She just shut you down.
What you say?
I swear, like the competition was against all the other teams, but it's always been with us as well. Like,
indoors,
beside us, it's always like, no, like that's not what you do. Don't do that. And he's like, yes, it is. You don't get it. And it's my food, not yours. And I'm like,
and then now me and her will get in the kitchen. We're like, I can cook better than you. I can cook better than you. We're like, let's compete then. Let's do.
Wow.
We'll do a dish
So
together.
you guys were upping each other's stakes and making each other better, probably.
Probably.
Because of this thing.
Yeah.
And did you? Because we didn't see that season, unfortunately. But I know that you brought the Sudanese food in. Did you also bring Filipino and Turkish as well?
Mainly just Turkish food.
Okay.
So I know my Filipino side as well, but living in a Turkish house, I just learnt Turkish food a lot. So that was what I was comfortable and confident in.
They mustn't have never seen food like that, the judges.
Yeah, I think
it
that's why
was the
they
first time
surprised
that
them.
they had something like that.
Yeah. How we've got such a beautiful, rich community, with the Sudanese people and bringing so much into Australia. How has the community responded to you, Monzir? Were they proud of you?
They're very proud of me. At the beginning, they're very supportive. So as soon as we came out, then that we won the grand final, it came out and was like on the thing. So the Sudanese communities and all the Sudanese pages, and even they put it back at home, like on the news and stuff like that.
International.
So it's international, And a lot of people are giving like good comments, respond, and then I got family calling from overseas. I called my parents and like, oh, congrats on your son is winning that. They're very supportive. So I got that part of it as well. Not only just the Sudanese community back home here, and I saw the African communities, not only Sudanese, well, they got like all the whole continent of Africa, like basically.
It was the first time I think anyone African has, like, from Sudan specifically, been on the show.
Yeah, right.
So it was good. There's good like representation as well, because we get a lot of the media were about Sudanese and like them in Melbourne and all that. So they never seen like someone doing good things. So it was like when someone made it, like, oh wow, we all made it. It's like good representation.
Absolutely. And I'm just thinking about all those little ones going,
Yeah.
I want to cook now.
Yeah.
What Monzir did.
Yeah.
That's so great.
So that's good.
I love that.
Even his own brothers and his own friends and stuff, they'll send him like Snapchats and be like, look what I cooked.
Yeah,
look what I made. Which is something that you don't see a lot of young males doing at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I think it's great that he has actually inspired not just the community, but his own friends and family to actually pursue it and cook more.
Yeah, because if Monzir can do it, so can I.
Yeah. If
That's
Monzir
the
can
thing.
do it, they can do it.
Yeah. It's like the
100%.
Sudanese sports men and women who are doing incredible
Yeah,
things
a
right
lot of
now.
athletes
Oh,
these days came out. Yeah.
And it's upping the game of the people that are already playing it.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like-
it's brilliant.
Soccer, I think they had this one Sudanese kid, the youngest Sudanese player. He played in the World Cup for men's World Cup, so he was like the first Sudanese guy there, and he was the youngest African player. So that was really good. That was something inspiring as well.
Yeah. It's fantastic. When did you arrive in Australia, Monzir?
I arrived in 2005.
Right.
So yeah, I've been here 18 years now.
Right. And you went to high school and did all that when you came here?
So first time I went to school was actually in Australia. When I came here when I was like 10 years old. So back home I didn't go to school. I didn't have no schooling at all. So I came here and then I went to primary school and then finished primary school and high school and then I went to college and uni and stuff.
That's such a good. That's
How has been the response publicly to the both of you being together and the blending of your cultures?
I think it's been predominantly very positive.
Good.
Like, it's been really positive. Everyone's always, you're such a nice couple and everything. You get the odd little bit here and there that's like, does Monzir have a passport?
Yeah, I got that one.
Just the stupid negative comments. And we tend to just ignore those because there's so much more positivity out there, which is really lovely. I mean, like 20 or 30 years ago, we probably wouldn't have been together because it wouldn't have been a thing. And so seeing all that positivity is really encouraging and it's been really nice.
I love that.
There was there's a comment that you said cooking, Janelle, making cakes helped you through your childhood. What's around that?
So I guess I started baking and doing it really seriously when I was about 15.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it and I loved it. But around that time and even previously, I was a bit bullied at school a lot. So during that time, obviously on weekends, just for context, my parents are not together. So I would go to my dad's place and I wouldn't really have anything to do. I was a little bit like sad, I guess, at school and whatnot. And I was always really friendly with the hospitality teachers and food tech and everything. So they would let me, go in and cook and do stuff. And so I went towards that as a hobby because I had nothing else to do.
Right.
And I was, wanting to make stuff with my younger sisters as well. So being, I guess, a little bit more isolated, I just started taking up this hobby that really made me happy, and I started baking for people, and they responded really well with that positivity. And I feel like when you give something to someone that you've made from scratch, I mean, it's like the best gift that you can give them. So I was welcomed a little bit more since baking, I guess. Yeah.
And when you say welcomed because of racism, you was that sort of what you were dealing with when you were younger, or?
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was anything racist. I think it was just, I don't know, girls.
Right.
Oh, so you're talking about like Mean Girl syndrome and
Yeah,
stuff
there
like
was a
that.
lot of that at my
Gnarly,
school.
isn't it?
There was a lot of stuff that went on. I mean, from primary school carried on to high school.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that was going on for me in my personal life as well.
Okay.
And I think that really affected me. And so throughout high school for a few years, I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't have friends. And when I tell people that, they're like, I can't believe that. That's so weird. You're very social now. And I'm like, but I had years of social anxiety because of what happened.
Yeah, right.
So for years I had social anxiety. I couldn't make friends. I didn't understand how to even make friends until I got into my adulthood. And even then I was at uni and I was like, who's my friend and who's not my friend? I don't even know what to do. So I spent a lot of time baking and I started my business, and I didn't want to associate with a lot of people.
Yeah. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you two getting together? Were you fearful of judgment over that? Of you two coming together as a couple and putting that out there?
I think, no, we weren't worried about what people would think of us. We already kind of acknowledged that there are going to be people that don't accept it, and there's going to be negativity, which there's always going to be the person that says something negative. But I think we also realise that we come from families where you need to break cycles. And if you don't start now, then, if we have children in the future or whatever happens, that's going to be carried on. And so you have to kind of be uncomfortable and be in that space for a little bit in order to make change.
Okay.
So we didn't care about that stuff.
And basically, change is the only thing that we can be guaranteed of.
Yeah.
And change is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We have to sit in that uncomfortability and be comfortable with it. But that's okay to be uncomfortable.
That's fine.
Do you ever sort of clap back at the people that are unkind with the unsolicited comments, or you just ignore and move on?
I think just ignore, move on.
We try and ignore it and move on as best as we can, just because we don't want to give any airtime to that.
Yep.
There's probably been once where we've replied or something like
Janelle
that.
does. Janelle was
It's not Monzir.
Honestly,
I
she likes
try
to fight back. Everything on TikTok, all the messages like, nah, all right, I'm talking back. I'm talking shit back.
Because I'm very protective of Monzir. I am. And I know that a lot of this, it comes, both of us, but a lot of it is on him. And so I'm not, going to shy away from it and just, act like I don't see it. I see it and I acknowledge it. But I don't want to give people that airtime and feed that negativity. But I also don't want people to feel like they can say that stuff to him.
Sure.
So that's why I do say something maybe occasionally.
Yeah.
But we try to ignore it as much as possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is food the universal language that brings cultures together, in your opinion?
100%.
Yeah.
Tell us your experience of that, like within the family.
I think food, I think is a love language, big love language for me. Because when I met Janelle too as well, like her desserts, they were me. I was like, wow. I was like, all right. Like, she sealed the deal with the desserts. So I was like, all right.
So brought us together.
Yeah. So
that's the
like,
sweeties.
Those sweeties, She got all the sweets. So I was like, all right.
Yeah.
That for sure. But yeah, food as well for us is a big thing. Coming from Sudan and having a big family as well. Like my mom, she'll cook big dishes and we'll eat like in one plate. We're like, and then because I have big sibling, like big family, so all the brothers, they'll come sit down and then we'll eat from the same plate. And that's like something that unites us. It's like a big family thing. So it's like, that's what I think, that's like a love
You're
thing.
literally picking off the same plate.
Yeah, so like we have this like couple of dishes in Sudan. Is like a big like hero dishes, like for Sudanese dishes that you have to eat as one, as communal.
Yeah, nice.
So that's something for us.
That's what he taught me, and that was the first thing he made me. It was this communal dish.
Yeah.
It's called full. So it's like beans, and it's got peanut
Fava
butter in
beans,
it.
yeah.
It's fava beans. Yeah.
Really?
They love peanut butter, and they use it in so much of their food. So at first I was like, okay, where's the fork? And, I'll get a plate. And he's like, no, I'm going to feed you. You're going to eat. And I was like, oh, my God, okay. And he'd grab it, and he'd, literally put it in my mouth. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, it tastes better when you eat like that. And I'm like, okay.
So you're feeding him off fingers, not on a piece of bread or something?
Yeah, like with bread or just with fingers or whatever, but that's how...
Yeah, that's how you gotta do it. That's love. You can...
It's kind of sensual, though, isn't it?
It's a bit sexy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It is sexy.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little excited over
Well, when
here.
he's cooking
Take
in
my
the
jacket off.
kitchen... And he's,
It's getting hot in the bathroom, honey.
Am I going to feed you chops tonight,
I think
honey?
so, yeah, with your fingers.
Okay, got it.
Chop on.
Porridge in the morning, it's on.
Just a little slobbage around the chin.
but that's
Oh,
how
let me just get
couples...
that.
that's how... It's a form of intimacy.
Sure.
I think it is, because when you're cooking for one another, I think for us, we're not wordy like that. Like, he doesn't write me love poems, and I don't say all that shit, whatever. But, I don't say all these things, and he doesn't really say a lot of things.
Yeah.
So for us, it's very, physically, I've made you this because I know you like it and
Like
all
a
that
service,
stuff.
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and plus, food brings cultures together because it's the only time you're not going to fight. When we're all eating, you're all happy and you're all enjoying it.
no, food solves everything. So if you're angry,
Yeah.
you eat. You're upset, you eat. You're happy, you eat. So that's what we do.
Some people would argue that's not good. That's called stuffing.
I know. That's like...
But I love it, though. It's nice and simple.
So I do too. Monzie, what about have you tried to hand feed Janelle's grandma?
Oh, no.
Oh, we're gonna
I'm
smack.
curious about that. Here, Pops, here, let me just slide a little of that peanut butter on your tongue.
Have you made one of your spectacular cakes for Monzi's family?
I have.
Oh,
So
good on you.
we have Eid, and we have different celebrations. I've made, cookies, baklava, or any kind of cakes and things, and I'll always give them to him. And I'll pretty much give it to him, and he'll go give it to them if I can't get there or whatnot.
Yep.
And then I'll be like, did your mum like it? Because my thing is the reaction. I really like to hear if someone's liked the cake, or I like to watch people eat the things that I've made. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like a little kick for me. I'm
think
like,
that's
oh,
okay.
yeah. Yeah, I like seeing it. I like seeing if you liked it or whatnot. So he'll always ring me and go, they loved it. They said this and they said that. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I love it. I love hearing that.
We cook for each other.
Yeah.
Like when Elle works at school, it's my job to cook that night, and I'm the most insecure. I have to know that everyone likes the food, and they'll say, "This is great, Dad," or "This is great, Cam." I go, "Yeah, but did you like the steak? Is it cooked okay? Is it? And did you like the the potatoes pretty good? Weren't they?" I need so much validation with my food.
I don't blame you. Food sensitive topic.
I was just going, yeah. I didn't think you knew that about yourself, sweetheart.
Yeah, and I'm very happy in that self-reflective moment for you. Thank you for saying that.
I love it. I love a bit of self-reflection.
And that's more like your grandma as well. That's like her grandma. Every time I go to
she's
her house,
like that too.
when I go to the house, to go for dinner or they're doing a barbecue,
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, come, eat this." She make dolma and all Turkish food. And she's like, "Eat it." I was like, "Oh, it's delicious, Nana. It's beautiful." She's like, "Oh," she start laughing, giggling, and she feels good. So she loves that validation. But I think mostly because she's at home and then she makes food and stuff, but everyone wants to do takeaway and stuff. So when I come eat her food, she's like, "Oh yes," she loves it. So me and her we're best friends
She's
now.
obsessed
We
with
cook for each other.
Monzie. She's obsessed with
Now
Monzie.
we're best friends. Now we're cook for each
I'm
other.
becoming
friends.
the same way. We've only known each other for 20 minutes. And I'm feeling a little obsession right now.
There's this obsession that everyone has with him, I think. Like this little, you meet him and you're like, oh, he's warm. He's warm, he's lovely. And so my nene, I think she's got this little infatuation now.
Yeah.
She calls him Aldi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aldi.
I don't know.
But I think
I don't know.
Good, better, different.
I don't know. She just one day was just like, "Where's Aldi?" And I go, "Who?"
the
the boy. And I
the
go,
word got stuck. She
"What?"
said it as a mistake, and then
Yeah, and now, she just sometimes
Okay.
Aldi.
Could be
I don't know.
Woolies, could be Coles, but
No
no
idea.
Yeah,
idea.
you're better off. Aldi's good. Good, different.
Aldi's good. Yeah.
Different, yeah.
sponsorship.
That's right. Now you're thinking. Janelle, I love that you said about winning MKR. We had the focus, we had to stay organised and calm and clean. It's all about sticking to your tasks, trust, and honestly just going for it. So what has cooking together taught you about relationships?
Oh gosh, there's always you know what? In relationships, when people say it's 50-50, that's not true. I feel like sometimes you can only give 40% and that's your 100%.
Yeah.
And sometimes there has to be a head chef because I have to learn to let him lead and he's got to let me lead as well. I've got to trust him, he's got to trust me. So we had our certain tasks, we had our certain things to do, and we kind of use that in life as well. When he knows something and he feels confident in it, I'll support him and I'll trust that. And me as well. When it comes to things that I know and I'm really confident, he's like, no, Janelle's got this, she can do this, I'll follow her lead. And so I think people get it very twisted in relationships when they seem to think, oh, the man leads or the woman leads or whatever. And it's like, none of us lead. We both do in different areas.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest takeaway from MKR. Like, we both had our moments where we had to take the lead.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, and trust each other.
It's a bit that Paul Rudd Anchorman moment where he says, 60% of the time, I'm right every time.
Yeah. Well, that's
Or it
the
works
thing.
every time.
Look, in my mind, I'm always the leader.
100%. Like me and Janelle, at the beginning, I think, so we have to build trust and all that, like at the beginning of it, when we're going in, like the first instant restaurant, I think we had a bit of like back and forth, like, oh no, I'm the head chef. And I was like, after realizing after the first instant restaurant, and then we got that 10 out of 10, and like, all right. And then I was like, you know what, this is your thing, you want to do this and you love cooking and you got more knowledge of the dishes and stuff, so I'll let you do all the work and stuff. We'll do it together, and then he lead the way, and I'll just cook whatever you want me to cook. And that's how, like, in some dishes, and then some dishes, like when it comes to the end, like my dish, the Sudanese dishes, she would let me do all the stuff because you do that, you take the lead, you tell me what do you want me to do, and then we'll do it. So we work together, and then her strength, she knows her strength, I know my strengths. So my weakness is like not doing recipe development and stuff, writing recipes. Her strength is writing recipes. So it's like, all right, you do that part, I'll do this. I'll go grab this stuff and then we'll cook.
Yeah, right.
So we'll learn the balance of each
We
other.
have different strengths.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's important. Like, it's good to know, your strengths and your weaknesses and how your partner can help you. Because I guess I'm a little bit more on the controlling end of things, and he's a little bit more of the under-controlled side. So we have to kind of meet in the middle sometimes, and I have to be like, okay, I'll let you do things, but I need to oversee it. And then certain things he's like, yeah, you take care of it, it's all good, I trust you, and I have to let go a little bit. But
sometimes I was cooking dinner, and then she comes, oh babe, you cooking dinner? I was like, yeah. She was like, so you do this? I was like, I said I'm cooking dinner. So back there, she's like, all right.
Yes.
And she back off. So
Out the kitchen you go.
So yeah.
I've heard that similar thing said, like if you're both a 10, like you're both a 10-pointer, right?
Yeah.
So you put them together, you're 20.
Yeah.
So if on one day you're at a 6, the other one needs to step up to a 14 to complete the 20.
Definitely, that's what.
yeah, that's
And
what
I
it
think,
is.
yeah, that's really good. It's a really good thing. Where do you get your confidence from, Monzi, to be able to go on a cooking show? And clearly all your mates know you can't cook. But you got where do you get your confidence to sort of just say yes and do that? How does
To be honest with you, like going into the show, I was not confident at all. I was like, even the first episode, I was like sitting there, I was like, oh, all right. But and then watching Janelle and seeing her how bad she wanted it, so I was like, that made me feel like, I wanted to give it to her. So I need to work hard. I need to, lift up my game. Need to do what needs to be done so we can win this or we can think. So I was like, I started picking up myself through the way up and up. So I was like, all right, we can do this. And I think the first time we went with the instant restaurant as well, the first dish I cooked the lamb cutlets. I was like, in general, we're sitting at the back waiting for the results. I was like, I don't know if we're going to make it. I don't know if it's going to be good. And we got a 10 out of 10. And that gave me the mad confident booster. I was like, I can do this. So that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're bound to have, future MKR contestants listening to this podcast. So what are your tips for those people wanting to get on that show?
Wow. I guess my thing would be for anyone who wants to apply for the show, apply with someone that you do trust and that cares about you as well. Like if you've got people that just want to go on because they want to maybe get a bit of fame or whatever it is, you're not gonna work well together. And don't just pick people because you think, oh yeah, they cook really well. Pick people that you can work with. It doesn't matter about, like, your cooking skills matter, but your teamwork matters more, I think, anyway, because I feel like he went on there not a confident cook and we ended up winning because of our teamwork. You know, like I was able to teach him so many things. He taught me. I trusted him. He trusted me. Like that's really what got us to the end. And I feel like when people apply, really pick someone that you trust, pick someone that you know is going to have your back. And yeah, that's what I would say.
Good advice.
Definitely. For me, I would say be authentic to yourself and cook from the heart and just do what your normal dishes are, the way you cook at home. So don't try to change it up too much because you take that away from it. And just,
Yeah, everyone wants to fancy up the dishes,
Right.
especially our dishes. Ours are very peasanty, rustic dishes, right? Like they're not lavish ones that you find in 5-star restaurants, but we had the option. We could have made them more fancy and whatever, but I was like,
Oh,
no.
you definitely did.
You
played it. She was
we
like
plated
plating
it
queen.
nicely,
But I
I
was
think.
like, cooking it.
As far as okra goes.
Did you put the sea foam on top of the peanut butter beans? See that sort of
If
stuff?
I had said that to him, he would have been like, "What are you talking about? What is that?"
You gotta play your dishes, not my
Seafoam
dishes.
as well, like-
Yeah, no, Monzi's not a 5-star restaurateur. He's
Yeah.
more of a let's go to the kebab shop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
But it'd
I'm with
be,
you.
Fun.
'Cause
it would be the
seafoam-
best kebab shop too, I'm sure. Like
yeah.
the flavour is everything.
I like the flavors. Flavors for
Yeah.
me is everything.
Oh, then do you believe? I think this. I know the answer to this already, but what's that? Eat, pray, love? No, it's not that. Like Water for Chocolate, where they're cooking the emotions into the food, and you're cooking your vibe into the food. So angry chefs create kind of angry food,
like
but
therapy
people are having conscious cooking. Is that something that you guys have ever
Therapy
given
cooking.
conscious
I think
thought
that-
to?
Look, I think that when you are, depending on your mood,
Yeah, 100%.
then that will determine how your food kind of comes out. Like if I'm angry and I'm cooking, my food doesn't tend to come out as nice as if I'm really happy and I'm cooking. And that is a thing. I feel like, especially with my baking, if I'm in a really bad mood and I go to bake, they always go out flat. Something happens that's not something that usually happens.
Yeah, right.
So I think
I can only bake when I'm happy.
Yes.
That's when I know I'm happy. Is
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
want to bake. So it's like baking and dancing are my two things that I can only do when I'm happy.
Oh wow! Yeah, River's like that. Our son is a baker,
Really?
and when
Yeah.
he doesn't live at home anymore, but he'll come home and we've got more freaking baking trays.
Oh, and he took half of them
I mean,
and
you
we
guys
still
could
got
have,
tons.
you know,
Yeah.
but he will make, he'll do shoe pastry,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
things like that. He'll do his sourdough. He'll have that cooking up the top. In
Oh,
fact,
wow.
there's probably a sourdough culture
Starter
still
somewhere.
going somewhere in our kitchen. That's
Yeah.
like 8 years old and growing arms somewhere.
It'd be good though.
Would it?
Oh, it
no
would be
one's
a
fed
good
it though.
one.
You haven't fed it. You have to feed.
Oh, you
those
got to
things.
feed it. Feed it. What's happening next for you guys? What are your dreams?
Oh gosh. We've got individual dreams and dreams together.
Yep.
So I think like mine are a little bit delulu. Like I have like this really delulu mentality where I'm like, I want to do all these things, which to me don't seem out of reach. They're just timing wise. I think I need to be
Sure.
patient with. But
Yep.
I want to start writing my recipe book. So I want to start doing my baking book and writing all my recipes out. We want to do a book together with
Yeah.
Sudanese and Turkish food. So that's what we want because I feel like our food is so similar and there's ways to kind of fuse it together really beautifully.
Yeah.
We also just want to show, I guess, the combination of our cultures and families. So we want to include, family pictures and things like that. That's what we want. And yeah, I think I had a cake business prior to MKR and I want to keep expanding on that. I have a little product coming out. It's customized aprons. Yeah, no, everyone does aprons, right? But trust me, when you say the aprons, they're good aprons. My mum hand makes them. They're pink, frilly, big, they're like the real deal.
Gorgeous.
So I think so anyway, in my
You're going
opinion.
to look good in yours, mate.
With your legs.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks. Thanks, Janelle.
You
That's
can be my
It's just
poster-
going to be the. I will
You're my
be-
poster boy,
I-
right?
Nothing
Legs
underneath.
11.
There you go.
Lucky they don't snap.
No, but there's a lot of things that we want. I mean,
Yeah.
the goal is eventually the show. I want the show.
Okay.
Cooking and baking and doing things like that. That's what I've
Yeah.
always wanted. But yeah, I mean, Monzi's also got some big things.
So yeah, like same thing with Janelle. Individual goals. I just wanted to, I wanted to build my business with the spice mix and stuff. Try to put it in the market, fill up that gap, like where there's no African food and stuff. So give that diversity thing.
There aren't many African restaurants around, are there?
Nah. That's a big thing. So looking down the line, maybe opening a restaurant as well, and then try to introduce people to the African cuisine and Sudanese cuisine, educate people about that as well. So that's like one of my goals, and yeah, just like
He's
try
got
to
the
build a
product
legacy
actually.
and stuff.
He's got it already packaged.
So I got the
He's
product is already
it.
done. It's already in e-commerce. Like they buy it on website. So I built the website, started from scratch. So that's all the money went to.
Not all of it, but some of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
But he's
so
done
like-
so well. Like
So-
that product was, I think, a dream of his whole family's.
So-
it was just something that they all made
So
and loved.
that product is not just a product, just as a legacy. It's passed down. So it's like a secret recipe from the family passed down to me, and then we try to So I try to package it, put it out there, and make it. Make my dad's dream. My dad's basically that's his dream to put it out there for him as well. So it's
Yeah. What's the name of the label that
So the product name is Agashi.
Yep.
So I got the website name is monzir.com.au. So we got the ebooks that written by Janelle.
It's how
So
to use the product.
How to use the product.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And then the product there's different sizes of it. And then soon we're gonna try to upgrade more ranges, like get more stuff and the products as well, like try to get like spice chili sauces and stuff, like
Yep.
all different stuff put out there as well. So people can buy it and taste it and stuff like that.
And this is all up now? Is
Yeah,
it
that's
all up
all
and
up, yeah.
going?
So up
Okay,
and
we'll
going.
make sure we put all this information in our show notes.
Awesome.
sure.
Are you
Absolutely.
going to do aprons as well, mate? Because I'll be your poster boy too. Actually, Al can be your apron wearer, and I'll be yours.
Perfect.
It's all happening.
No, it's been great. Like watching the product come to life and seeing how it's been a lot of work because this has been under a year and he managed to get it packaged and done. And it's been such a long process, but also such a rewarding one. Like to see him do this and do all of that. It's been great. And we have one of those little cute couple names, Monzir.
So yeah,
Oh,
Monzir
you've
and-
done it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So Monzir and Elle, so
Yeah.
together-
It's good. It's
cheesy.
good. It's cheesy, but
Yeah,
it's
so
cute.
you have Monzell, we have Camel.
Oh,
One hump or two.
Yeah, Monzell's much cuter than Carl.
I love it.
It's cute.
Kamali. We should do
Come on, guys. Well.
it's what a great story it is, and it's like it's not an overnight story for you guys. It's been
No.
it's been both of you having your individual
Yeah.
aspects and then coming together and then
Yeah.
creating something together and growing it. It's really inspiring what you're doing.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, guys.
And best of luck.
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
Yeah,
it.
to you
Thank you.
both. We do a 2-minute shower where we do water conservation. We keep our answers short. Well, we ask you to keep your answers short so we don't run out of water.
Right.
So you ready for this? We want you
Give me
both.
1 second.
Yeah. We are in the bathroom. I know it doesn't look like that.
I was about to say, are we all getting in the shower now?
Yeah. And we're
So
wearing.
that's why we're answering really quickly.
Yeah,
No
and
worries.
we're wearing your apron. So no, there's no shower going to open up over the top of you.
Okay.
It's a metaphorical one. We both want you to answer the question, though.
Yes.
Okay. What is your best quality?
Do you want us to answer at the same time? Or?
No.
Oh,
We need
okay.
to
I
hear
thought it was
What's your figure?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your best quality?
Okay.
Best quality, I'll say. I don't know. You go first.
Oh, honestly, my humour.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I'm funny.
I think it's funny too.
I agree.
I'm funny.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think my humbleness. I'm just humble.
Oh, wow. That makes me look like a dickhead. Anyway.
I don't know.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Remember your 10 points each, right?
Oh,
You're
yeah, I
making it
know,
up.
I know.
What does your perfect day look like?
For me, going gym, eating, going for a run, and just watching a movie.
My perfect day would be baking, making like breads or jams or cakes and things like that. Being with my cat, cooking, and I think just like watching movies. Yeah, it would be a really relaxing baking day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The world needs now is.
It needs more love and care.
Compassion. I think compassion.
Excellent. What habit does your partner have that you find adorable?
Oh, I thought you were going to say annoying. I was like, going to be it. Buzzer.
Okay,
10 of those to answer to.
Steady.
Wearing a bonnet while she goes to bed. I don't know.
Oh, that's nice. That's adorable.
That's adorable.
Exposing.
It's adorable.
Yeah. I think what's adorable is he takes my grandma to the doctors. Like he'll come and take her to the doctors and shopping and coffee dates. Yeah.
Monty, no wonder she loves you.
Yeah, so best friends.
Yeah. Last question.
I'm really impressed. One with the bonnet going to sleep and the other one taking grandma out. Your partner in one word.
Beautiful.
Aw. Aw. Warm. Yeah, he's warm. He's like, what?
Perfect.
It sounds soft.
No, but he is. He's warm, yeah.
Warm is a good word. Thank you so much for coming in, you
thank you,
two. It's
guys.
been delightful to get to know you. All the best with success. I'm sure you'll have it all. You know, you've got
thank you
such,
so much.
such a good heart, and we really love talking to you both.
Oh, we've
thank
loved
you.
talking
Loved
to you
being-
guys.
Come
Thank
and
you
check
so
back
much.
in with us again when all this stuff has exploded.
Oh,
Yes,
we will.
you've got your TV show.
Yeah, and bring lots of
100%.
merch.
Yes, I'm coming back with that apron.
For sure. 100%.
Yeah. It's all going on with the apron.
Beautiful. Thank you guys so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you,
guys.
thank you.
There they go. Great. Loved them. Monzir and Janelle.
I think they've got a super bright future, those two.
Well, they're all about the spirit, aren't they?
Yeah.
Spirit and food.
Yeah.
Energy.
And it really made sense, the two of them together,
Yeah.
to me. You know, he holds the steady and she's got the excitement. And I love that mix of that sort of passion and steadiness and the humbleness and the humour, as they said. So they're a good mix, those two.
It's a good team, isn't it, when you think about it like that?
Yeah.
Beautifully
And the
put.
fact that that's what she was saying, actually, that teamwork is what made them win that show, you know, and applied that to relationship, and you've got it.
Yeah, that was brilliant advice, because the how will take care of itself,
Yes.
but it's the let's create the relationship and have that going, and then whatever it is we need to create, we'll do that along the way. Brilliant
No, I loved
stuff.
it. Loved it.
Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to Separate Bathrooms. We'll be back next week with a new one, and check out the show notes for all the information from Monzir and Janelle.
Indeed. Thanks for listening.